It was the offense that was stagnant. Then all of a sudden, when he got in and started calling the plays, they took off. He got credit for that because Greg Williams didn't call plays for the offense and on the offensive side of the football. So, Skip, with that being said, everything is about these quarterbacks now. This is why you see the influx of college quarterbacks. College coaches. Is that let's find someone that's a couple of years older, not in his 50s or 60s, that can relate, that resonates with these young men and can call the game like what they're used to having in college. You see a lot of teams opening up, Skip. Very few teams play up on the center. Now, everybody's in the shotgun. Everybody's in the offset with the back to the side, not in the eye. So this is where we're going, and Baker seemed to love him. And so at the end of the day, Skip, the quarterback is calling a shot. Because I remember there was a time, general manager, the owner hired a head coach. It had no input from the quarterback. Now it seems to be if you're of a cachet quarterback, you got to pick up the phone and call Aaron Rodgers. You got to pick up the phone and call a Roethlisberger or Tom Brady if that was the case. Baker's happy. You want to make sure he's happy because at the end of the day, when that guy plays good, your team plays well. So Freddie Kitchens seems to be like a very good choice, but I was a little surprised considering he came from running back coach, offensive coordinator to now he's a head coach. But Skip, you never know. Everybody was a first-time coach at one point in time.
True. So I was shocked by this.
Really?
And I was very disappointed by this. This is a big mistake. And I feel sorry for Baker Mayfield because this will not reflect well on his ability to grow another year next year. Because you just took the guy he clicked with, the guy who became his big brother figure, just the way Norv Turner was once for Troy Aikman, really brought him out of the doldrums and lifted him up to Super Bowls. And you took that guy, Freddie Kitchens, who's never been a head coach in his life, he's 44 years of age, and you took him and you said, you be the CEO now. You run the whole show. And you just detailed that, that's a lot of responsibility that you don't have right now. You can't go sit in every quarterback meeting. You can try to, but there'll be too much going on. There'll be too many issues that you have to address. Player personnel problems, guys, everybody's going to have some issue off the field or something that you have to address. You're going to have to talk to the owner. You're going to have to talk to the general manager. You're going to have to talk to the media on a daily basis. And it will wear you out. It's hard, and he's not accustomed to it, and it will take him away from what he did so well with Baker. And I am a Greg Williams fan, and I always have been. And I know he was right in the middle of Bountygate, but they beat Brett Favre and they beat the hell out of him, but they went on and they won that Super Bowl. And everywhere Greg has been, the defense has played with edge because we saw him. We got to see him on Hard Knocks. He has profane, motivational charisma. He just oozes charisma because it's real. It's genuine. It's not an act. When he gets after the defense, when he fires up and calls out his defense, to me it comes across as 1,000% authentic.
He likes
and
that.
they respond to it. Pro football players will be, their physicality will be maximized under Greg Williams. Well, what was not to like about how they played down the stretch over those 8 games that he was the head coach and Freddie was the coordinator?
Well, once he was not going to be named the head coach, Skip, I think you had to get him out of there because of his personality is so dominant.
I got that.
So dominant.
I think it's a threat to the owner, to the GM, and speaking of Billy Beane, one of his proteges, Paul DePodesta, is still in that front office, and every time I read something about behind the scenes, they say his is a powerful voice in the front office still. So you have to be able to handle all those guys, and they have to be comfortable with your personality. And Greg rubs everyone the wrong way. So it's threatening. It's like he's not approachable. They can't, Jimmy Haslam can't sidle up to Greg Williams and say, you know, I was thinking about maybe, do you think blitz a little more this Sunday or whatever? He's not going to respond well to that. And Freddie's just happy to be here. It's like, the heavens just opened up, and I just became the head coach of the Cleveland Browns.
And in order for you to work for Greg, you got to be a strong head coach. You got to be a Sean Payton.
Yeah.
You know, he was the D coordinator under Jeff Fisher.
You got to be really.
Freddie Kitchens in his first year as a head coach, Skip, is not going to be able to handle Greg.
I got that, but if you'd kept it the way it was with Greg as he's the head coach and the defensive coordinator.
Oh, so you wanted Greg to be the head coach?
Yeah, I wanted to keep it.
Okay.
It worked, man. Every game down the stretch, the 8 games together, I just liked what I saw from the defense and the offense. Okay. Obviously, Baker lit up under Freddie Kitchens. Right. He likes it. Well, I fear for Baker that he's just not going to get enough Freddie next year, that he'll have to fall back to whoever the quarterback coach is going to be. And we still don't know who the coordinator is going to be, but that's a big issue because I'll bet you the defense won't be quite as good next year as it was this year. It scared people. Like when they played Baltimore or Pittsburgh, they're like, uh-oh, well, we got to bring it today because these guys are going to show up on defense.
Well, I can assure you that Freddie Kitchens, he assured Jimmy Haslam and John Dorsey that he would continue to call plays.
Okay.
Somebody might have that title.
Okay.
Just the title. Well, they're the OC.
All right.
They're not going to call the play.
Okay, I got that. But now it's double hard because all of a sudden you have game management under your purview during the game. Like you have to think about not the next play, like, are we going to go for it? Or are we going to punt? Or are we going to, what are we going to do? You know, like there are 1,000 little decisions that get made. Like if a cornerback's getting roasted, are we going to yank him in favor of, well, that's your call. You got to sign off on that.
And that's the thing, because normally, Skip, as an offensive coordinator, I can assure you, Josh McDaniel is not watching what's going on with the defense.
He's not.
When he's at the OC.
No.
That's Coach Belichick's job. And the D coordinator, Brian Flores, or whatever his title is not watching the offense.
He's not.
Where Freddie, now, not only does he have to help Baker's, like, did you see what they did over here?
Can you go sit with him?
Yeah, he has to now also look and see what's going on with the defense and like, okay, what's going on out there, Coach?
Yeah.
So it is asking an awful lot.
Like in college, Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State always gets criticized because he'll leave the sideline and go sit with the quarterback while the defense is on the field. And up in the press box, they're saying, you're not watching, you're the head coach. Well, you can't get away with that in the NFL.
You have to, the really good head coaches, Skip, they delegate and you have to trust because your expertise normally is that Coach Belichick can do that sometimes. Sometimes when the offense is on the field, he's over there making sure the defense is getting right. It's not a normal thing, but you have to trust. You have to be able to hire people and put them in position that you trust their judgment and what they got going on.
And just for perspective, just for the record, as terrific as Freddie was as a fit with Baker, do you realize those 8 games, the last 8 games of the year, that's the first time Freddie has ever called plays on any level for a whole game because he's never been the guy. He's always been the assistant. You know, he's never been the coordinator. So he did it for 8 games. Baker lit up for him, and now he's the head coach.
Well, John Harbaugh got a job as a special teams coach.
He did.
Having never called offense or defense. He was the special teams coach in Philly.
John's the classic overseer.
He is.
Kind of like Jimmy Johnson was, where you're just above it all. Even Jimmy's expertise was defense, but he's a manager. He's the CEO. He's the overseer of all that's happening.
If Baltimore would have made a mistake and let him go, I think he would have had his choice of job.
Okay, because
he's great.
I'm with you. He's great.
And the Browns took so many steps forward this year.
They did.
That you hope that Kitchens just furthers their.
And they fired Wiley, Skip.
Oh,
the O-line coach, man, they fired the Warriors.
It's not going to be as exciting anymore. We need a Hard Knocks version of just his life.
Well, who's going to do Hard Knocks next year, Skip?
Well, maybe Wiley can do a reality. He can do his own reality show.
Whoever gets Kyler Murray, that's who's going to be Hard Knocks.
Really? Is it Arizona?
Can you imagine?
You keep trying to speak that into existence. You really want...
I do. That's what I would do. I feel like that.
If I'm the Cowboys, I'd take you.
I feel like...
Take who?
Kyler Murray. I take Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Kyler, he box office.
You just took it too
like
far
box
there.
office.
Let's let him get through the weekend first. One guy that did not get a coaching job, Mike McCarthy.
Interesting. Wonder why that was.
The question, why? Let's talk